let's get straight down to the point here. Simple chords don't work. Why? Because they only sound good in a particular range of the piano. If you're playing a simple song, like Over the Rainbow, it works. But if you go too low, you're getting in the mud. So they only work on a particular range. And I would say anything from this note down below is mud. When you get up to here, it's too shrill. So you only have the sweet spot to work with this, to only play your simple chords right here. This is a crime. You have such a wonderful instrument that's capable of making a huge dynamic range. Why would you only limit yourself to just this range on the piano? We got the bass, guys. Look. Right? So what did I do just there? That was a pattern. We have to transition our beginner mindset from all the teachers that taught us wrong about chords to be played in the left hand. Let me break it to you here. First step, gravitate away from playing chords in the left hand to playing patterns. Let me show you how to do this. Okay, we know that the simple C major chord is this, C, E, G. So, if I'm playing Over the Rainbow, which there's nothing wrong with these chords, but would you want to play them on the whole song? It would get boring, right? And I am staying within the range of where these simple chords sound good. Now, what if I wanted to go down here? Simple mud. You know what sounds better? You're missing out on all the lower notes. So the advantage to using the pattern is spreading the chord out. C, E, G, C, G, and C. If we start out with this simple pattern, it's going to open up and unlock the lower notes. Isn't that a miracle? You're using the whole range of the piano now, and you're not just stuck in this small, tight little range. That sounds good. We need to graduate to these patterns. So look. It opens up the range. You hear the difference? Here's chords. Too muddy. Pattern. Okay, so what am I doing with this pattern? How do you create it? Well, if you go to the chord symbol, C major, you look at that note, or the letter. It's the root note. So you have to find C. I suggest taking full range of the piano. Play a C down here. And now we need to find the fifth. All right? So the fifth degree of C major, or the fifth note in the C major scale, is G. All right? And now play another C. The closest one, which would be my thumb. And you could play it in a repetitive motion. So 1 and 2 and. So the next chord would be A minor. All I would do is remember, find the root note, ask yourself, what is the fifth note in the A minor scale? E, and then find the next A, which is going to be played by your thumb. So we got the first two bars of Over the Rainbow. Then the E minor. and stick to this same pattern. The finger numbers. 5, 2, 1, 2. And do that for every chord pattern. So isn't it nice? We've now graduated to using the whole range of the piano. So what can we do now that we've learned a simple pattern? Well, we could outline the chord now with expanding this pattern. So I call this the Wonder Wave pattern. And now we're playing, remember our simple chord? It's now attached to its friend, the pattern. So in lies the simple C major chord when doing this pattern. I call this the Wonder Wave left hand pattern because you're waving, or think of finger number 3 as the wave crashing down on E, which sets you up to play G and C. Take a look at it again. The simple pattern we just learned, crossing over with finger number 3 and hitting E and G. The third note and the fifth note in C major. So there's our chord. So this is one way we could expand the pattern and incorporate chords the right way. So you're probably wondering, well, I just spent a couple months learning these basic chords. You're telling me to just throw them away? There are ways to utilize these simple chords. Let me show you a simple one that you could implement in your playing. So if you're doing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, we want to think in terms of arrangement. Maybe we don't want to start out with the left hand pattern first. The first time in the first verse, we're just going to do simple chords. And what you could do is arpeggiate the simple chord by playing one note after another. Something like this. Or so let's look at the first pattern, C major. Then it goes to A minor. See, this is delicate. And it's pretty. Now I could use the left hand pattern. And wasn't that fun? So, in conclusion, don't limit yourself to such a tight range on the piano. We know that playing simple chords, they only sound good in a certain part. But if you expand to using patterns along with chords, making them both friends, you're going to get a wonderful experience arranging the songs you love to play, and you're taking advantage of this instrument. It has such a beautiful dynamic range, and don't limit yourself to playing lower notes. Start using patterns and start using chords more wisely. Well, I hope that helped you get some clarification on how you could expand your playing and your range on the piano. So thanks again for watching this video, and let me know in the comments on how you're using your chords. All right, take care.